The flashing blue lights cut through the grocery store parking lot as Officer Trent barked, "Step away from the vehicle." 74-year-old Mrs. Lillian Rhodes froze, holding her grocery bags. "But, officer, this is my car," she whispered. Trent scoffed. "This brand-new Lexus. Registered stolen. And you expect me to believe?" Then, in front of gathering strangers, he yanked the door open, spilling her medications across the pavement. People gasped. The elderly woman steadied herself on her cane, trembling. But before anyone could say a word, Trent looked inside the car, saw something, and his entire face drained white. What is this?" he stammered. Before we continue, please subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss more unbelievable stories like this. Because what Officer Trent discovered would change everything. Mrs. Lillian Rhodes was known in Golden Oaks as the kind old woman with the gentle smile. She wore soft floral dresses, kept peppermints in her purse, and gave neighborhood kids $1 whenever she passed. No one knew that behind her calm, graceful demeanor lay a lifetime of stories she never talked about. She lived in a modest little house, drove nowhere fancy, and lived off what the world assumed was a tiny pension. But what stood out most was her dignity. She walked slowly, carefully, always gripping her rosewood cane, a cane she had owned for over 40 years. Her life was quiet, predictable, peaceful, until the day she bought her new car. She had walked into the Lexus dealership wearing a sweater and old sneakers. The salesman ignored her for 7 minutes straight, serving others behind her. But Lillian, as always, held her gentle smile. Then she said one sentence that shut the entire dealership down. "I'll take that one. The 2025 Lexus LX. Black on black." The salesman blinked. "You mean test drive?" She opened her purse, pulled out a platinum card, and said, "No, son, I mean purchase." She paid in full. Everyone stared, and Lillian simply smiled, got into her new SUV, and slowly drove home. But that night, someone reported the same model stolen from across town. And the next morning, Officer Trent, known for his arrogance, his quick temper, and his habit of profiling, got the call. Stolen Lexus, possibly seen on Brookhaven Boulevard. Check it out. He smirked. On my way. He had no idea who he was about to confront, or what she truly was. Because Mrs. Rhodes was not who the world thought. Not even close. Officer Trent pulled into the parking lot just as Mrs. Rhodes placed her grocery bags gently into her trunk. "There she is," he muttered. "Stolen car. Easy arrest." He slammed the door of his cruiser and marched over. "Hey, step away from the vehicle." Startled, Mrs. Rhodes clutched her cane. "Oh goodness, officer, is something wrong?" Trent looked her up and down. "Whose car is this?" "It's mine." He snorted. "Right, and I'm the Queen of England." People nearby paused, sensing trouble. "Sir, I have the papers right." "Don't lie to me." Trent snapped. "You think you can steal a car like this and play innocent?" Mrs. Rhodes tried to open her purse with trembling hands. Her cane nearly slipped. "Stop reaching." Trent barked, grabbing her wrist. She gasped in pain. A young man watching shouted, "Hey, she's elderly. Chill out." Trent glared. "Anyone else talk and I'll arrest you too." He yanked the car door open, causing her medication bottles to roll onto the ground. "Look at this mess. Even the inside is too nice for you." Mrs. Rhodes whispered, "So, my heart medication." Trent ignored her. He continued searching. Then, he leaned into the driver's side and froze. His hand shook. What is this doing here?" he whispered. A faint tremble ran down his leg. Someone in the crowd muttered, Is he scared?" Inside the glove box, Trent found something he never expected. A federal badge, a valid ID, and a sealed envelope stamped with United States Department of Justice classified clearance. Trent staggered backward. No, this can't be real." Mrs. Rhodes simply lifted her chin. "Officer, may I have my belongings back?" A woman in the crowd whispered, "Who is she?" Trent swallowed hard, his face pale, because the ID said something no one could believe. Not only did the car belong to her, She was someone dozens of cops feared. And Trent was about to learn. He had just crossed the worst possible person. Officer Trent's voice shook. This ID can't be real. He swallowed hard, struggling to form words. You're listed as. Mrs. Rhodes took a step forward. Finish your sentence, officer. He stepped back. No, there's no way. The crowd leaned in. Lillian calmly picked up her cane, the same cane she had walked with for decades, and tapped it lightly on the ground. Officer Trent, do you know what this cane is made of? He blinked. Wood. She smiled gently. It's not just wood. Her eyes sharpened. It's rosewood imported from Kenya. Given to me in 1983 when I completed one of the most dangerous missions in my agency's history. The crowd gasped. Trent's mouth fell open. Mission? Agency? You're kidding. Lillian tilted her head. Tell me, officer, have you ever heard of the National Intelligence Support Council? Trent nearly choked. That's the intelligence division that handles international counter-operation strategy. Yes. She smiled softly. I was one of their senior field operatives for 27 years. The crowd erupted into murmurs. You were a SPY, someone shouted. Lillian shook her head. No, I was something far more complicated. Trent could barely breathe. But your badge, it says Director Emeritus. That's correct. You were the director. I was, she said. And technically, I still outrank half the people working in this state. Trent felt his knees wobble. And this letter, she continued, gently picking up the sealed DOJ envelope he had dropped, was being delivered to a federal judge today. She looked him dead in the eyes. And now it's been opened illegally by you. The crowd gasped again. Trent shook his head, sweating. No, I didn't know. I swear I didn't KN. Officer Trent. Her voice deepened, powerful, authoritative. You profiled me. You manhandled me. You mishandled federal property. And you tampered with my vehicle. Trent's lip trembled. Please, don't report me. Lillian straightened her posture. I haven't said my decision yet. Because what she was about to decide would determine whether Officer Trent kept his badge or lost everything. By now, a full crowd had gathered around. Some recorded. Some whispered angrily. Some comforted Mrs. Rhodes as she steadied herself on her cane. Officer Trent, the once arrogant cop, now stood shaking like a leaf. Mrs. Rhodes, he begged. Please, I need this job. Don't file a complaint. She lifted her eyebrow. You didn't think about your job when you accused me of stealing, did you? I know. I messed up. Messed up. Her voice cracked with controlled fury. You humiliated me. You assaulted me. You destroyed my medication. You frightened me in front of strangers. Trent's chin quivered. I'm sorry. Please. A bystander shouted, take his badge. Another yelled, he treated you like trash. Trent's voice cracked into a whine. I have kids. Mrs. Rhodes softened for a moment. Then she said, open the DOJ envelope. Trent froze. But it's federal. I wasn't supposed to read it. You already opened it. Finish the job. With trembling hands, Trent peeled back the top and unfolded the letter. His eyes scanned it, and his knees buckled. He sank onto the curb, breathing fast. My God. What is it? Someone asked. Trent whispered. It's an evaluation order. Mrs. Rhodes nodded calmly. For whom? Trent swallowed. For the Brookhaven Police Department. The crowd gasped. And who wrote it? She asked. He read the signature. His face drained. This is your signature. That's correct. She pointed to her title on the letterhead. Former Director Emeritus of Intelligence Oversight. I now work as a federal consultant for the DOJ, specifically in law enforcement ethics reviews. A woman in the crowd gasped. She reviews police departments. Lillian nodded. And I was scheduled to begin evaluating this precinct next month. Trent whimpered. Please. She leaned slightly on her rosewood cane, looking down at him with a mix of pain and strength. Officer Trent, you didn't just pick on a random elderly woman. She took a step closer. You just assaulted the federal official responsible for reviewing your entire department. A warm wet patch began spreading down the front of Trent's pants. The crowd recoiled. Did he just? He peed himself. Trent covered his face, sobbing. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Mrs. Rhodes exhaled deeply. You should be. But what she said next was something no one expected. Mrs. Rhodes looked at the humiliated, shaking officer and took a long, steady breath. Everyone expected her to demand his badge, to destroy his career, to file federal charges on the spot. Instead, she said softly, Officer Trent, stand up. He did, trembling. She reached into her purse, pulled out a small card, and placed it in his hand. Report to this address at 7 a.m. tomorrow. He stayed at it. DOJ Ethics Division. Training Center. She nodded. You will attend a full course on bias, de-escalation, and lawful conduct. You will listen, you will learn, and you will change. He blinked through tears. So, I'm not fired. That depends on how seriously you take this chance. I can ruin you, but punishment without growth is pointless. His voice cracked. I'll be there. I promise. She gave him a small, tired smile. Good. Now pick up my medication. He rushed to gather every bottle, carefully cleaning them, gently placing them back into her purse. Finally, he whispered, I'm sorry, Mrs. Rhodes. Truly. She nodded. I know. Now go. And be better. The crowd erupted into applause as Mrs. Rhodes calmly placed her groceries into her car. People weren't cheering for her power. They were cheering for her grace. As she drove away, a teenager recording the moment whispered, she wasn't just powerful. She was wise. Moral, power isn't about punishment. It's about responsibility, integrity, and using strength to lift others, not crush them.